Hey guys, welcome back to Lucas Narration channel. Lucas here, and today we're checking out two stories I've collected from the Am I the Asshole and TrueOfMyChest subreddit. And if you love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting the like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too, as it really helps out. Now let's crack on with today's story. So, our first today's story comes from a Reddit user who goes by the name FAR Experience 2070. She asks, am I the asshole for telling another gym member to wear a bra? I, 25 female, fucking hate wearing bras. They're uncomfortable, constricting, and expensive. With work from home, I spent the last year and a half basically never wearing a bra and got used to it. Quite frankly, my boobs are non-existent anyways. I recently started going to the gym again and started working out braless. I should note that up until now, no one has ever pointed out anything wrong with me not wearing a bra. However, in the middle of a set of squats, yes, mid-squat, a guy comes up to me, taps me on the shoulder to get my attention, and tells me that my nipples are poking through my shirt. I get really irritated because why the fuck is this guy staring at my nipples in the first place and then stopping me mid-set to inform me? I get really annoyed, try to finish my set, but then this fucker literally grabs the bar as I ascend and re-racks it for me. He claimed it looked like I was having trouble with the last rep and that he had come over to make sure I could do it, then noticed my nipples. I'm really fucking pissed off at this point and told him I didn't need his help finishing my set and why the fuck was he looking at my chest in the first place. He said he was going to spot me but then noticed my chest and thought it'd be inappropriate. I pointed out that the safety bar was set, so even if I did fail the set, he wasn't needed. But he just insisted people at gyms look out for each other and that going forward I should probably wear a bra so other people wouldn't get uncomfortable and that it may help me stay more balanced in my squats. I'm literally the only girl at the weights section of the gym at the moment, and other guys who were squatting and failed sets never have to worry about this shit. I've seen guys fail multiple sets in a row and no one ever rushes to their aid, but I have a very slight pause and everyone thinks I need rescuing. So I'm now really annoyed and also kind of uncomfortable that this guy I've never spoken to in my life thinks he's helping me and then has the audacity to tell me how to dress. So I tell him, you have bigger boobs and nipples than I do. Maybe you should wear a bra so people won't get uncomfortable and you won't fail your squats. He then got really defensive, saying he was just trying to help, then called me a bitch. Honestly, I'm not sure if I overreacted, but I'm still kind of pissed off, so maybe that's clouding my judgment. Am I the asshole? Edit to add, I'm not sure if people think I'm walking around and it's extremely obvious my nipples are showing. I actually really hate constricting clothes. My t-shirt size is X small, but I wear size large to the gym and pretty much everywhere lately, and you can't tell my stomach from my chest. My nipples might have been showing a little more while squatting because I was wearing a lifting belt. Nah, I don't know what other people think, but in my opinion, you're not the asshole. Anyway, why is he staring at your chest mid-set? That's just creepy. He should just focus on his workout instead of staring at your boobs. What do people online think? Let's check out what they say in the comments. We're starting in the comments with one Reddit user, IDontWorkHereLady, says, I'm leaning very slightly towards you are the asshole. I'm sure it was an honest mistake on your part and it looks like you still don't even realize what you did wrong. Honestly, you'll probably laugh when you realize it, but you accidentally posted this in Am I the Asshole when you were actually looking for the r/rants subreddit. This user agrees that OP was wrong because the man was kind enough to inform her about how inappropriate she was. You're the asshole. I simply don't think that what he said was inappropriate. I think that he was sincerely trying to help. At least, that is what I see by reading your post. Before you ask, no, I would not have been insulted by someone saying that to me. Yes, I am female. So a comment which OP relied to says, I think you do need to start wearing a bra, just for him, one of those cupless bras that would squeeze your nipple through and make it more prominent. I would also wear the tightest shirt I could find. OP explains, LOL, I actually wear extremely loose clothing because I really hate feeling constricted. Like, I'm a size XS t-shirt generally, but wear large shirts while working out. I don't think my nipples are generally noticeable. I guess it was just noticeable while I was squatting since I was wearing a lifting belt. Many people believe that that man was the one who was wrong here. This Reddit user, SPH1Nexa, says, not the asshole. Reported to your gym, he had no right to comment on your body at all and no right to try and assert his help onto you. If he can't control himself from staring at another person's body, then he shouldn't be at a place where he's going to encounter all manner of bodies. Another user, Tyan, adds, also, as someone with boobs, sometimes your nips show through a padded bra. I've never worn a sports bra that didn't headlight people pretty much the entire time I had it on. His argument doesn't even make sense if you know boobs work. How about you? Do you think Opie was a jerk? About a half of a month later, Opie gave us an update. Thanks so much for all the feedback on my Opie. A couple people said it was just a validation post, but TBH, after you go off on someone like that publicly, getting a lot of attention, you kind of do feel like an asshole even when you feel it's justified, so yeah. I finally did start wearing bras again, and not at all because of this incident, but because I'd been dealing with depression that made me not really try to get dressed in general, not just at the gym, and dressing for success has been a small way to try to get myself back into a better place mentally. Anyways, the guy goes to the gym roughly the same time I do most days, so unfortunately I did have to see him again. Even though I really wanted to grab his bar out of fake concern while he was squatting, I mostly ignored him. Until 2 days ago. I was deadlifting and recording myself to check my form. The guy comes over and says something like, "You know sumo is cheating, right?" I get this comment a lot, mostly from men half joking, and it's annoying, but I just completely ignore him. He repeats it a little louder, and I continue to ignore him. I guess he sees that I was recording myself because then he asks if I have an Instagram. I don't post my lifts on Insta, and if he could follow me. I keep ignoring him. Finally, he says something like, "See, your form is so much better now that you're wearing a bra." And I fucking lost it again. I screamed at him that he's a disgusting, harassing piece of shit. Honestly, I don't remember exactly what I said, but it was admittedly very vulgar and got a lot of attention. A worker came over and asked if something was wrong, and I said that the guy was sexually harassing me for 2 weeks and asked to speak to a manager. The guy denied it and said he was just trying to help and that I was being sensitive. But either way, the manager asked what was going on and got both our stories. Because I had been recording my lifts, I actually had a video of him where he commented on my bra, so the manager gave him a 30-day ban and told me that if he ever bothered me again to let her know and she would permanently ban him. So I feel kind of vindicated, but I also feel a little frustrated that just one man actually saw consequences for this kind of behavior towards women in the gym. It's nice to see someone have repercussions for their actions, but it's also exhausting dealing with this kind of thing constantly at the gym, even if it isn't quite as overt. But I guess I'll have to keep calm and lift on. What are your thoughts about this story? Don't hesitate to share them with me in the comments. And now let's move on to the second Reddit story from the Reddit user whose name is Shattered. She shared her story on the TrueOfMyChest subreddit and asked, "My boyfriend asked for a paternity test. As soon as the results show he's the father, I'm leaving him. I'm a new mom to a baby boy who is my pride and joy, and though it's been a roller coaster adjusting to taking care of a baby, the past few months have been great, tiring but great. I have a boyfriend of 3 years who is the first person relationship-wise I have ever loved, and I thought we were doing great as new parents but also as partners. Friday, he came home and he asked me for a paternity test. Just like that, it was completely out of the blue. I was putting away the dishes and he asked for one, like he was asking what was for dinner. I'm a different race from him, but our child, apart from the skin tone, is literally his mirror image from pictures I had seen of him when he was a baby. I was stunned when he asked, and his reasons were that he had to be sure he was the father. He had to have that certainty. All I remember as he was speaking is just immediately feeling pain. The man I love doesn't trust me. He would actually believe that I would fuck someone else, cheat on him, and then try to pass off another man's baby as his. I have never ever given him reason to think I would cheat on him. I have tried to be transparent and communicated, and it wasn't enough. He told me he would give me time to think about this, that he wouldn't go behind my back and do this test, but for our relationship to move forward, he needs to be 100% sure. He repeated this because he, in his words, needed me to realize how serious he was. After thinking for a couple of days, I'm going to allow him this paternity test because I have nothing to hide. I never cheated and would have never cheated on him. Once it's proven that he's the father, I'm ending it, leaving the same day, and I am going to try my best to be a cooperative co-parent with him. In the meantime, I'm coming up with my exit plan, a place to live, and a lawyer to work out a custody arrangement in court. I can't even tell my family or my friends right now because they would go nuclear, and my first priority is our child. I hope the test was worth it to him. I'm not asking for advice or reassurance or to explain his side. I'm just realizing this part of my life is now over. What a way to start the new year, huh? Damn, that's rough. Your boyfriend hitting you with a paternity test out of nowhere is like a punch to the gut. Your trust might be shattered. It's messed up that he doesn't believe you. You deserve someone who trusts and respects you. So building your exit plan is a smart move for you. Now let's check out the comments of the online community. We're starting in the comments with one Reddit user, Ethereal Love Gloss, says, I told my ex-boyfriend this after our miscarriage. He said he didn't believe he could produce a baby that was that genetically weak. I told him he was free to DNA test her remains, but if he did, he would be paying for the test on his own. I would be taking back the car. It was mine. He just drove it everywhere, removing him from my insurance, and once the results came back, everything of his would be thrown out into the mud. He did it. My daughter was his, and I did everything I said above. Turns out he was cheating and the other girl was pregnant. I hope you get out safely and he can kick rocks. This user, Zaffi, agrees. The craziest about that genetically weak comment is that 50% of pregnancies end as miscarriages, and half of those are due to a serious chromosomal defect. His ego is so inflated that he thinks that basic biology doesn't apply to his gametes. Next commenter, Alaskan Puppy Mom, says, DNA test for the baby. STD test for the man. Seems a fair trade to me. From one Reddit user who says, not telling others is a good thing. That way you know it won't get back to him. He can't backtrack after the results come in. I'm petty. I would also record him saying it and then record him getting the results. Just so you can play back for him in the future. Also if he ever lies and says he never said it. Another user, Freyade, adds, I would be interested to know if he has some kind of anxiety issues related to health or if he has been cheated on in the past. I feel like depending on the context this could be potentially understandable and something you guys could work on in couples therapy. 3 weeks later, Opie did give us an update by posting a new post titled, We did the paternity test my boyfriend wanted. It's been a couple of weeks since I posted and I have just been navigating things after. I'm going to call my boyfriend Mason to keep things clear. This is going to be long, I'm sorry. Also, why post on Reddit? I don't know guys, I don't know. To clarify a few things. We're different races, but to my knowledge, his family plus extended is more than okay with it. His mother actually set us up. I went to a dinner party and he and I were the only single people who had been invited and we hit it off. She admitted to trying to set us up for months. We have had no issues with cheating or any situations where things could be sketchy during the years we have been together. We also haven't broken up or taken any breaks. Our son is his mirror image. My boyfriend confided to his cousin about the paternity test a couple of days after he asked me, and the cousin told his wife, and it spread like wildfire, especially in their family group chats. His mom put an end to the speculation though by doing a half and half pic of him and our son, but also by adding some additional individual pics of both of them. She posted the pictures in the family group chat and said, look at the old pics I found of Mason. After people commented, she said, actually the one on the right is my grandchild, or this one isn't Mason. Literally the family members just thought that it was the same person in all of the pics and that some of the photos were taken in darker lighting. That is how much our son looks like him, which I find funny but also a little annoying, like I carried you for 9 months, all for you to be a copy of your dad. I didn't see the group chat, but the topic died down when his mom did that. Anyway, we talked. When I had made the first post, I was so angry and planned to leave, but the anger was quickly replaced by hurt once I calmed down. I realized if I blindsided him like that, I would be doing the exact same thing that he did to me when he asked for a paternity test. I planned to ask him to talk, but I also didn't want him to think I was trying to get out of the test. So beforehand, I booked an appointment at 2 different paternity test locations. I asked him to talk when he came home, and I made sure our child was at my mom's. I told him that whatever happened with this talk, the paternity tests had been booked and would go forward. I basically asked him his reasoning and when he started having doubts about paternity. Was it a previous relationship? Did cheating happen? He said it was about a week before he asked me that he started having doubts. He said that he was on his lunch break one day just reading articles and he clicked on an old article about a man who found out his 3 kids weren't his after like 20 years. This led him into a rabbit hole of podcasters and YouTube videos that encouraged men to ask for paternity tests. While he thought those podcasters were idiots, he said that paternity was an exception. He said his reasoning was that some women have done this before and he wanted to be sure. He said, you know it's yours because the baby comes out of you, but how do I know? The test gives me that assurance. I was hurt by that, but I decided to explain how I felt. I said that for him it was a rational request, while for me it was basically him saying that he didn't trust me. It was him saying that he believed I would cheat on him, get pregnant, have him emotionally, financially, and physically support me during the pregnancy and birth, and basically lie to him while he raised another man's child. I told him that I understand that women had done this before, but the fact that he thought I would do this to him is what bothered me. I told him the truth, that when I was angry, I had planned to leave and that I even went looking into a lawyer, a co-parenting plan, and a new place to live. He was stunned that I would leave for something so small. I found that to be a weird kind of irony that he believed issuing an ultimatum about a paternity test and basically accusing your partner of cheating was something small. I told him I was really hurt by what he said, that I was still hurt, but that if he needs this peace of mind, that we would do it. He asked what about our relationship, and I told him I didn't know. We did the test 2 days later, got the results back after 3 days. He opened both of them, and to the surprise of no one, he's the dad. He was visibly relieved when he read the tests, and I don't know why that hurt more. It's been about 2 weeks from the results, and I'm still really hurt. God, I sound so pathetic. I feel pathetic. I thought the results would maybe relieve some of that, but it didn't. It's like a switch clicked when he asked for the test, and I can't find a way to click it off. I'm pretty sure postpartum is playing a part in this because all I do is cry, and I wasn't like this before. I have also moved into the spare room, something he was against, but I felt bad because apart from when our son is awake, I'm sad all the time. I am looking for a therapist. I don't know how people find therapists they like so quickly, by the way, and he wants to do couples therapy and he's looking for one. He already has a few appointments booked just to try them out. He wants to move on, marriage, more kids in the future, and go back to where we are, and thinks that our relationship is now stronger. While I'm just thinking our relationship right now is weaker than a person on stilts. I don't know if I would say we're together. The physical affection is gone, I'm not in the right mindset, and I don't want him to touch me. We rarely talk about anything but the baby, it's awkward, and I'm trying to find a way back to where we were and I can't see how. I'm going to try to fix this and try therapy, individual and couples, but I just have this feeling that this is basically a sinking ship. I hope I'm wrong. I want very much to be wrong. Edit, I really appreciate the kind messages. I know some people are worried, but I have a contingency plan in place. I have a lawyer. I have gotten a child care/custody plan worked up during these 2 weeks. I've told my family, who are mostly close by. I have a rental property I own and can go to. Our finances are separate, so I'm good there. I know myself, and I know I'm not in the right headspace right now. I'm staying in the spare room. There is no affection. Therapy, individual or couples, will hopefully help me and will hopefully reaffirm that I had the right idea in the beginning. It's not as easy to move when there's a child. So I'm making sure that I'm mentally well, our child is good, and then I'll make a decision. Thank you though for all your kindness and perspectives. I really appreciate it. A week after the first update post, as the online community was curious about what Opie did next, she returned to give us the second one. She says, I left. Things have gone downhill and under advisement. I can't really discuss it until things have been settled in court. I guess I'm really a cautionary tale on what can go wrong. Please, if you have concerns with your partner, discuss things beforehand, especially before you have a child. Thank you again for your different perspectives. Hoping to have everything settled eventually. What do you guys make of this one? Let us know your thoughts down in the comment below. Before we wrap up, I just want to say once again, thank you, thank you, thank you. Your support is the driving force behind this channel, and I'm incredibly grateful for each and every one of you. If you enjoyed our today's Reddit stories, why not consider hitting the like, subscribing, and turning on the notification bell too, as it will alert you when I return with another story. And now see ya.